Hello friends, welcome to Mahendra Guru, the Brahmas for Success. Well, in this session of tips and tricks, we are going to discuss descriptive paper for SBI, SSC and other competitive exams. Now before we start with it, let's have a look at a reminder, and that is to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done it so far. You can also follow us on Instagram, and you can also like our FB page, and you can also download our Mahendra Guru app on Windows Store and Google Play Store. Now let's start the today's topic of descriptive paper. Well, here are some FAQs and their answers. Now, what are common tips or suggestions while preparing for descriptive paper? This is one of the questions that I have seen from numerous PSSs. So this is one of the questions regarding descriptive. Okay, now here's the answer to it as well. In order to write an interesting and effective descriptive essay, you will need to describe a person, object or event so vividly that the reader feels like he or she could reach out and touch it. Well, what we want to say over here is that your descriptive should be extremely effective and extremely interesting. And it should be so simple as well that the one who's reading it can really feel the essence, can really feel the importance of your words that you have used in the descriptive paper. Now let's have a look at some points to remember. Well, now here are some points to remember. The first is get right to the action. Alright. And it means avoid long and lengthy introductions. Well, some aspirants think that longer introductions is the key to success. Well, they are not. See, you have to just avoid long and lengthy introductions. Just get right to the action. Spot on approach should be there. Like if we are talking about the ISRO launching 20 satellites, then it should be spot on ISRO and 20 satellites. Avoid long and lengthy introductions. Now, the next is decide. First, decide what you want to describe. Just because it is a descriptive paper does not imply that every aspect of the topic has to be expressed in great details. Well, see, now this is a mistake committed by numerous aspirants. They do not have a plan in place. They do not decide what to write first. They just keep on writing, or they just keep on typing, in fact, whatever keeps on coming in their mind. Now, this is a failure strategy. It is not a success strategy, because you have to decide first what you are going to write, because it's not important to describe each and every detail in detail. For example, if you talk about the Brexit issue, you do not need to explain every point of Brexit. Just explains the ones that's very important. Now the next one, purpose of description. Keep the purpose of your answer in your mind when you are writing your answer. Now, if your descriptive paper is about Brexit, then there should be no role of US exit from any other, let's just say from NATO or something like that. So the thing is, what we want to say is that you have to stay on the topic. Do not go off the topic whenever you are writing a descriptive paper, because many people, like we say in Hindi, bhavnaon mein beh jate hain. So they can't control their emotions and they definitely go off the topic. Do not do that. Avoid any such things. Now let's move on. See. Here's the next one. What should you include? Now this is a very important point, so pay due attention to this. A descriptive essay is all about the explanation and depiction of the person or event or object that you have chosen to describe. So how beautifully you outline that particular topic or that particular event, that actually is the key to the success in descriptive essay. So you have to really explain and depict the event in as reality, as it should look as real as possible. It shouldn't be looked as some kind of made up. So it has to be real, and how it can be real when you practice them. So that's the thing. Now next one, drafting your answer. Make an outline of all the aspects you want to take into consideration, and try to jot down what details you should include to ensure that you have a brilliant description that will leave an impression on the reader. Well, let's just say whenever you go through any particular topic, well, let's just say whenever you're reading an editorial article on some particular topic, you'll always note down that the editor who has written it has gone through a thorough research, and he has outlined almost all the aspects that are important for you to get it interesting. Alright, So that's the thing. In the same way, when you are writing the essay, you should have an outline in your mind of the topic of which you are writing. So when you have an outline or when you have a planned outline in your mind, that makes it interesting for the reader to read what you have jotted down. So that's the thing. Now the next one is avoid unnecessary description. Now once again, ensure that you do not go overboard with describing each and every portion of the essay. So there's no need of of overwriting or over typing. There's no need of that. Just stick to the answer and stick to the situation over there. That's extremely important. Let's move on. Okay, now here's the next point. Appeal to reader. Your answers should be written in such a manner that it should appeal the sense of the reader. Use simple yet apt words which could easily be understood. Now, there's a myth that for descriptive writing, very hi-fi words should be used. See, it's nothing like that. If you have used simple words, but you have used you have used them beautifully. If you have used simple words, apt words, and you have used them beautifully, they are going to appeal the reader. Let's just say you have used some very hi-fi words, but they are not suitable to the situation or they are not suitable to your descriptive paper. Then those words are of no use. Hence, you have to write in such a way that appeals to the reader, and the words are really simple. They can be simple, but they have to be apt. Now, next one, be creative. Try to use original ideas, especially for your essays. See, now there are some particular topics that we have seen from a long time. Let's just say global warming, or let's just say black money. But what aspirants do, they keep on writing the same things again and again, and they keep on writing in the same way again and again. So that gets very monotonous for the reader as well. So you have to, you have to get a new approach. You have to bring it in a new way. Now, how can you bring something in a new way? You can only do that when you have got good knowledge of it. So until unless you have a good knowledge, you cannot be creative. So definitely go through a lot of editorials, definitely go through our e-news Mahendras and a lot of places from where you can gather knowledge about burning issues. When you gather knowledge about burning issues, then you are able to put creativity into them while writing about them. Now the next one is present ideas systematically. Always try to be organized with your answer. Proceed step by step. Now you have to avoid haphazardness. If you are writing it in an unplanned way or in a haphazard way, your descriptive paper will be rejected. Make no mistakes about that. So never write your descriptive or never type your descriptive paper in a haphazard way. You have to follow an organized pattern. You have to follow a particular mental plan that you have made in your mind while practicing different topics. Now, many people think that they can write descriptive paper, descriptive essay, or they can have the descriptive paper right away in the examinations. This is a wrong approach. Why? Because you cannot do that. You have to practice essays, you have to practice Précis, and you have to practice letters before you take the examination. Otherwise, if you go right in the examination and do it for the first time, most probably your paper will get rejected. So have a mental plan, and how can you have it? When you practice it again and again, then you can have a mental plan. Let's have a look at the next one. See, now here's actually the pattern of descriptive English in examination. Usually there are three things that are there, and they are Précis writing, letter writing, and composition or essays. Well, let's have a look at all of them one by one in brief. Okay. See, here's the first one, Précis writing. Usually you are given a 210 word article, and you have to rewrite that article in your own words in 70 words, or let's just take 1/3 of the word limit that's there. Usually it's a 210 word article, but it can be more than that. You just have to write it in 1/3 words. So let's have a look. Now the first point over here, a Précis is a short view in your own words of a text of written work. So do not make the mistake, do not commit the mistake of copying the article or of copying any particular line or any particular para from the article. Because a Précis is in a short view, is your short view, and it has to be in your words, not in the words of the article that's already there. Now next point over here is you are to describe as precisely and briefly as possible the substance or main ideas contained in a text. See, definitely. Now, when you go to that article, you will find that there are some points that can make your Précis very interesting. So you can use those points, but then again, you have to use them very briefly and you have to use them very cleverly as well, because word should be yours and it has to be really, what do you say, really short whenever you are using something from the given article. Now, next point. A well-written Précis should be serviceable substitute for the original work. Now, what over here is means that let's just say that the article that was given to you was of 400 words or something like that. So, when an article is of 400 words, it definitely has a particular worth. You have to write that in one third worth. Alright. But the quality of that article should not fall at all. That means, what I mean to say over here is that your word, your Précis, that should be in one third of the original work should be equivalent in the sense of worth. The importance of a 400 word article should not go down in when you are writing a Précis of the same. In fact, your Précis should be more attractive than that particular article that was given to you. Now, let's have a look at the last point. It is the goal is to preserve the core essence of the work in a manner that is both clear and concise. So this is the thing. See, the goal is what? Is to preserve the core essence of the work in a manner that is both clear and concise. I think it's actually self-explanatory itself. So you have to write in a very clear way and you have to write on the topic that's given. Do not go off the topic. I'd like to add you once again. And see, I'd like to tell you one more thing, that you have to use your own words in Précis writing does not mean that you add any particular point of yours. Alright, you have to write whatever has been given to you in the article. You need not add any other information from your own. Just write whatever is given in your own words, in your own view. Now, let's have a look at the next one. See, here's the next one. Now, it's letter writing. Now, here are a few points. I'm pretty sure all of you are aware of letter writing, especially informal ones, because I suppose you've done that a lot. Many of you have done. Okay, here's the first point. It is a technique as well as a mode of communication. Definitely, letter writing is a technique, and it is actually a mode of communication, both formally and informally. Next is letters are generally of two types, formal and informal. Now, this is something that you have known since ages. Of course, letters are formal and informal. Now, what's there in formal letters? In formal letters, correspondence is made officially or to business. This is an important point that you have to know. You should know at this particular venture. Now, in formal letters, correspondence is made officially or to business. So, this is not anymore the age where you used to write a formal letter as to the principal, blah, blah, blah. No. Now things have changed. Why? Because correspondence is made officially or to business. Now you can get a topic, let's just say that you have to accept or you have to reject a particular job offer. So it can be like that. Or suppose you are so and so of a particular company and you have to write a letter to so and so of another company, or you are so and so of a particular company and you have to write to so and so of your same company. So it can be something like that as well. Now, when we talk about informal letters are generally the ones which we write to our friends or someone whom we know personally. Now, it can be from your family, it can be from your friends to whom you have to write informal letters. So, that's all that you're going to get in letter writing. Let's have a look at the next one. See, here's composition or essays. Okay, composition or essays. Now, this is something that you have done since childhood, just like you have done letter writing. And what are the points that you have to be aware of? Here they are. The first one is, it is a short literary composition on a single subject, usually presenting the personal view of the author. So, actually it is considered that whatever you are writing in the essay is your personal view. So, it should be personal, but then again, it should not be opposite to the facts, or it should not be contrary to the facts, else the one who reads it will think that you are living in a fool's paradise. And that, my friend, is a really bad place to live. Hence, whatever you write in the essay should be factual and should be based on truth. Next one, an essay should be so constructed that it gives a meaningful expression to the reader. Once again, your essay should be meaningful. It should not be worthless at all. It has to be of extreme worth, else you will not get marks that are worth of it. Now, here's the last point. Now, essays can be written in various styles, but the crux should be effective and capturing. No matter in what way you are writing the essay, just make sure one thing, that it is effective, it is capturing, it is what is meaningful, and it is creative. And also the most important one, it is based on facts and it's factual. Do not write absolutely what you say out of context, or do not write something that doesn't really make a sense. So you have to make it really meaningful and effective. So that was all in fact in our today's session of tips and tricks. Well, we promise you to bring descriptives, various parts, that is, we'll make a video on essay writing, and we'll make a video on letter writing, and we'll also make a video on Précis writing. So today we gave you some approaches. Now you have to follow this approach, and till the time you are going to write, or rather you can say that you become, you make something, you practice them. We'd like to give you some topics right now, and I think you can, if you want, you can definitely have them. You can just write the topics. Well, note them down. The first one, Brexit. B-R-E-X-I-T. Brexit and its applications. Note it down. Brexit and its applications. Now, I hope you have noted down Brexit and its applications. Now, the second one is that you should write is the crisis in Turkey. The crisis in Turkey. Second topic, the crisis in Turkey. I hope you have written these two down. Now, let's go to the third one. The third one is digitalization of India. Digitalization of India. Digitalization of India. I hope you have written these three. Just write two more of them. They are women empowerment in power corridors. Women empowerment in power corridors. Like it's most probably, and in fact, a female prime minister is going to head the cabinet of United Kingdom once again. So this is your clue to this particular essay. So women empowerment in power corridors, and just write one more, the last one, and that's going to be the world economy with India as a bright spot. The world economy with India as a bright spot. So I hope you have written them down. Now definitely go and practice on them, go and research something on these things, and till next time when we come back and when we go show you some new videos on essays and Précis and letter, that's all. And hey, you have to like this video, don't forget about that. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, don't wait for the Chinese New Year, please do it right away. Do like our FB page, and you can follow us on Instagram, and I hope that you have already downloaded our app that's there on Google Play Store and also on Windows stores. Your success is our success. Thank you.